Hello, everyone. In this topic, I want to tell our story between me and Justin. Justin, can you say hello to my audience here?
Hello, hello.
Yeah, hi. Justin is a special guest. In fact, he's a vendor that very few people would have anticipated. I hate bringing a vendor to my presentation here, but this is exactly what negotiation is about. It's about building relationship, achieving a win-win, and therefore my topic is negotiate like Donald Trump. In my trip to States, Donald Trump's right-hand man, George Ross, taught me how Trump built his relationship with his neighbor next door, and in order to get the air right for the building, and which then he turned to the great iconic number 40 Wall Street. My other mentors teach me the 3 C's, using creativity to solve the problem, be committed, deliver what you promise, and use common sense. Now, let's go through our story. Last summer, I came across Justin's building. Initially, I was outbid, asking for 165. It got up to 170. That's where we stopped. I went on summer holiday and came back and got told that by the agent that the other vendor had walked away, and the other buyer had walked away. The vendor wanted to ask us. So we, after a few rounds, agreed the sale price at 165. We were getting along very well before exchange until November. The bad news is that we discovered it was a listed building, which was never mentioned by the agent. And the other agent was trying to cover the story, not telling the vendor why my other partner couldn't proceed. I had to tell Justin the fact through our solicitor. I think Justin had probably dumped the agent from that point. And in order to get along and carry on, I needed another finance. I had to get HMO ready, and that's my original plan. And Justin, when I told him, he thought I was very genuine, very open. So he agreed to give me the time. So it take us a good few months to design and submit a listed building concerns. There was a little bottleneck because this particular blue wall, essential for a HMO building to protect the staircase, this wall was not allowed by the listed building officer. Therefore, we can't, there's a catch-22, we can't do it as a HMO. And at this point, it's been half a year of wait, and Justin has given me, and I couldn't really back out on a moral grounds. I really want to help him to get rid of this building. And he even volunteered to bring down the sale price by another 15,000, which is very generous of him. For that, I just couldn't, I just had to come up with something to get it. At the same time, I know the option is to keep it as it is as a family home, to refurb it, but at the same time, I know how high the transaction costs are. So I came up with something called lease option, which it's a way of controlling the building, fix it up, put it up for sale. Then in the end, I would try to do my purchase and my sale at the same time. This is the budget, and therefore there's no stamp duty here. It became the money I could have saved. That's the profit. So at this point, we can see that the negotiation is done very successful, and we didn't quite really get there in the end, not because of anything wrong from me or Justin. It was more that it's inheritance, probate property. There are executors, and solicitors, they both twisted Justin's arms. In the end, he couldn't go on with me. When we got told, I was disappointed, but at which time I had to let the common sense prevail, either buy the building, pay the stamp duty, or continue to insist what I want and then probably end up losing it and let them take it to another agent or the auction. So I bought the building. We completed the deal in August. We took this photo outside the building in one of the evenings where I collect the keys. Have I captured the story quite correctly, Justin?
Yes, very well, Tao. Yeah, very good.
Yeah, and our relationship has not ended here. One that Justin knows what buildings I'm looking for in the local vicinity. He sent me a few leads, which I've paid him the money for. Also promised to pay more if I manage to acquire those buildings. At the same time, on the building I acquired from him, he agreed to do some work and to help me to do some work. So I think that's a great way to repay his generosity back for allowing me to have the building at such a great price. So thank you very much for listening, all the property investors out there. And I hope that when you go out to look for the deals you want and take the same approach, think and really use your listening skills, use your heart to understand what the other party is really looking for. Try to come up with an approach that can really help them first of all before think about your own, property business. And then I think that's the best way to go.
非常感谢大家观看我们的视频节目，希望您能够喜欢，也欢迎在下方点赞或者评论。如果您想继续收看我们以后的视频节目，也欢迎您关注或者订阅我们的视频号。如果您想与我们的其他投资人或者我们的工作人员团队在微信群内进行互动或者私信，也欢迎您扫取屏幕中的二维码，有我们的公众号服务号，也有我个人的微信号，也欢迎您登录我们公司网站了解更多详情。如果您觉得我们的视频内容对您和您身边的朋友有所启发和帮助，也欢迎您将它转发出去。予人玫瑰，手有余香，非常感谢您的支持，希望下期节目再见。